Alright, what's up YouTube? Back at it again with another video. Okay, sorry. Damn it, I don't like that intro. No, 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 I gotta stick with one take Jake. It's one take Jake once again. Okay, let's just get right into this before I bore you to hell. Alright, so basically we're just gonna talk about the line combinations that the Canucks can have. I have question marks at the bottom, as you could see. Um, there's gonna be injuries, there's gonna be things. Maybe they show a good showing in camp, whatever. Let's start out with the top line. I'm going to start out with JT Miller in the middle and Brock Besser on the right side. That feels like a no-brainer in my opinion. Their chemistry looks good. They're both two hard-working guys. I like them together. Now, where a lot of people might disagree, I'm going to put Jake DeBrusk up there, and I just have this weird feeling he's not going to work out with Pedersen, and I don't know why. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we switch the two because Niels Hoglander and JT Miller and Brock Besser, I like that combination too. So you never know. Those two could swap, but that's where I'm going to keep it now. I like it. Anyway, second line. Let's go with Elias Pettersson in the middle, and then Niels Hoglander on the left. And I want to give Daniel Sprong a go up top. And yeah, maybe we should start him on the fourth line and let him work his way up. But I'm just curious. He has such a good offensive touch. I want to see what he can do up there. So if I was the coach and he has a good showing in camp, I would just chuck him up there and let's just see how it goes. Third line, pretty obvious. This one should not get touched. It's the lifeline of the team. Teddy Bluger in the middle, Dakota Joshua on the left, and Connor Garland on the right. Now, what I saw while editing this, I actually didn't know Joshua is a center too. So he did play on the left side, right? It was Bluger in the middle because I know he's a good face-off guy. And then Garland on the right side. But anyways, I might have that wrong, but we all know they should all be together. Fourth line. This is where it gets somewhat interesting. I really like P.S. Suter in the lineup, and I think he's a great. I think he could be a 20 goal scorer even on the fourth line. He can score. Kiefer Sherwood. I really like that pickup. And Danton Heinen. Now I remember. I can't remember. While I was editing it, they were both the same shot. So I stuck one on one. So I think they were both right-handed shots and I stuck Heinen on the right, I think is what I did. So that's where it gets tough, where it's like, okay, should they play there? But I want to go with the best players that I think have the best shot being in the lineup, and I think that you can make it work if you're a player. I played wing growing up. I could play on either side. It didn't matter. So let's give that a go. Now, I added Niels Alman and Philip Di Giuseppe. I have a hard time saying that. I know how to pronounce it right, but Giuseppe, that's right. Okay. But I just put them in there as a filler. The one I'm actually really looking at is Jonathan Lecker. Frick, man. Leckeramaki? That's close, I think. But he's the one that I really think that could steal a spot. Let's say Heinen. I mean, the problem is Heinen was like a 32-point guy. Like he's got to be in the lineup. Sherwood, they just picked him up. I love his work ethic. He's a pest. He's a pain in the ass. So this is where I'm thinking, okay, what if something goes wrong? What if Daniel Sprong doesn't work out on the second line? Can you stick Jonathan Leckman? We're gonna call him the Leckman. Can we stick Leckman? Oh, I'm sorry. That's so dumb. Okay, could we put Jonathan? Now I sound like I know him by a first name basis. Could we put him instead of Daniel Sprong? I don't know. I think what's his name? Oh, now I'm all flustered. Talkit. Talkit has a lot to work with here. When the camp comes out, you don't know who's going to work well together. Jake DeBrusk might just not work out with anyone. He could be a third line. You never know what's going to happen, right? And then I put Niels Alman there because I don't necessarily love the guy, but I think he's serviceable. So, if somebody does get injured, that is their center depth right there. And Giuseppe, he's proven that he can play up front. He had a great first half last year, and he played with JT and Brock, I believe, right? So I just wanted to throw them in there anyways. All right, anyways, let's go over to defense. This is where it got a lot more trickier for me. Obviously Quinn Hughes, duh. Philip Hronik, I like them together. Yeah, they did get a little bit flustered, it seemed like at times, like where they both go up, but I think they'll get their things going. They're two great defensemen. I think they work well together. Carson Soucy, I don't know what I think of Carson Soucy still. He doesn't do much for me, but I think he does belong in the lineup. And I do like the idea of these two bigger guys, with Tyler Myers, but which I really like Tyler Myers now. He's really growing on me. He was a punching bag for me as well, just like you. I'm sure he was. I'm sure you were yelling him at the TV, and I think we're all growing to like him now that he's at a $3 million cap. He's kind of more worth it. Um, but man, can he use his body just a little bit more? I don't know. I feel like there's more that he could do. But I think that's an okay second pairing line for the defense. Um, okay, Noah Juleson. And Vincent Desjardins. They're both right-hand shots. So this is where, and I know Juleson was on the right, and this is where it can get confusing again. But like I said, these are the two guys I just want in the lineup, and it's confusing when you really start to put all the pieces and you realize, oh yeah, right, like they should be playing on their side. But I think Juleson is the type of guy where he'll play where he's told to play, and I think he's the type of guy. I think him and Talk have a good relationship. He got not sat, but scratched a couple times during the season. Talkett didn't want to do that, but he said it was just something he had to do to rotate everyone. I think Juleson would just be happy to play and make it work, because I'm actually a really big fan. I think he's very serviceable. Like there wasn't very many times I saw Juleson last year where I'm like, oh, that was stupid. He just seemed like calm and just a good player. So I really want him in the lineup. I really do. And Desjardins, we just picked him up, huge guy, 6'7". So that's gonna get confusing. Um, I got Mark Friedman possibly on the right side. Don't want him in the lineup. I just don't. I think he's okay, but injuries, right? Injuries. He could be a guy that gets slotted, and I'm sure he'll get some minutes throughout the season. Akito Hirose, that's a guy that I think we all want to see succeed. I think he's a decently offensive defenseman. I would love to see him somehow get into the lineup for a few games this year. And Derek Forbort, I don't know. I laugh every time I say it. I say so weird. I don't know. He just seems, he's definitely a stay-at-home. He's not a point producer, but that's someone else. Maybe if Juleson can't play on that side and we slot him into the right and he's kind of a scratch but a backup for when someone gets injured, that works too. And maybe Forbort. Why does it sound so weird? Yeah, maybe he just belongs there instead of Juleson in the first place. So who knows? We'll see. Okay. Anyways, goalies. This is obvious, Thatcher Demko, but we all know he's injured. What's gonna happen there? Artur Thielov's obvious number two for me. I think there's a lot of talk on YouTube that I've been watching where they could be shopping for a goalie, and rightfully so. Yeah, it is good to have the depth, especially when Demko's down. And we can't have too much expectations for Seelovs. He's still young. He played great, but you can only ask so much for a young goalie. You might not come flying out the gates again this time. You might be shaky. He's going on to his first year, actually, technically, right? So yeah, they might need to find another piece, but I'm not honestly too worried about the goaltending. Even with Demko out, I'm just not. I don't know why. I just feel like Vancouver will figure it out. And then there's this Nikita Tolopilo guy. I could have said that wrong. I just know there's talks about him. And the Young Stars games are going on right now, which I totally missed. I had a wedding to do up at the lodge I work at, but I live 30 minutes away from Penticton. I really wish I got to go see a game. Never got a chance to, though. But I think he got a shutout in one of the games, and he could be something, right? And it's a name that's starting to float around now, not in the Canucks world. So yeah, as a third string goalie, I think that's a great option. And obviously, right now he'd be second. The backup, should I say? And then who's the new guy they signed? There's another guy, and I totally left him out. And it's funny on NHL.com they actually have him as like the next guy before Nikita, which could be rightfully so. Damn it, it's such a blank right now. I'm sorry. He's not a very big name, but he could be there. They do have some sort of depth, but yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for me. I just wanted to quickly go over everything and what I think the line should be, but it's not even what I really think they should be because I'm not the coach and I don't get to see the chemistry that goes on in the camp and all that because so many things can change. But on paper, this is what I would do. If I was the coach and jumped in right now and I couldn't see anyone play, I'd probably roll with this. I would give it a go. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I think that's going to be it for me, and goodbye. I hate it when I do that. Okay, anyways, bye.